Huh? Okay, Rabbi said we're starting. We had a very rocky Rabbi Chaim Ben Atar shiur. A lot of kedusha. It's a lot of. But you had a nice answer. Good for you. I saw the smile go to Sharei. Okay, let's get to the point. First of all, I want to tell you guys one thing that I didn't say in the other shiur. I wanted to, but that whatever we're learning over here right now, it's mamash. It's a big thing. It's a big birurei nitzotzot, as you guys don't imagine. Rabbi Yehuda Ftaya says in his Akdama LeBeit Lechem Yehuda Yikhutz the Migdash Melech that whoever learns Torah Hasod in an hour, he does what a person who learns Gemara in a year. Wow. That's what he says. I'm not exaggerating. That's exactly his words. And the reason is because the whole point of Torah is to bring you to Avodat Hashem. This limud brings you to Avodat Hashem. It makes you excited about Hashem. The Kriyat Shema you're going to do tonight is not the same Kriyat Shema you would do after Shiur Gemara. Now, Gemara, all the respect, the Gemara, Mishnah, Chumash is all important because you have to build up the levels. You cannot just jump. But in our generation, which is Aharit Hayamim, the last generations, we must understand that, as I said in my first shiur of Days of Mashiach, end of days, until a Navi will not walk among us, there will not be anything. Understand? Havle Mashiach is Havle Mashiach. We've been experiencing Havle Mashiach. But we have to remember what I talked about it in Sudash Lishit? It's all about preparing our kli, our vessel. We have to prepare our body. The body has to be prepared for the Ruach Elokim. Sharei Kedusha is exactly that, the book that he wrote, that it was meant to be made to prepare our bodies. So we said in the beginning of the Sefer, we're in page 9, 7th page, 7th paragraph. We have the new Sefer. Thank you for all the sponsors that sponsored the Sefer. We're with you. We're in the same Shorosh Neshama. So we said that our 248 limbs, it's not because the 248 limbs is something physical. It's a result of something spiritual. That means our neshama has 248 limbs. So therefore our body, it creates this 248 physical limbs. Okay? Yeah, Zelu Madze Asai Elokim. And then the Shesa mitzvot, the 365 sinews, which you said me very nicely, sinews, veins, arteries, right? Those are the things that you have in your body. That means every time you do a mitzvah or avera, that mitzvah and avera correspond to one vein, sinew, to one bone in your body. So let's say you're not mekayem mitzvah Talmud Torah. Let's say you didn't do mitzvah Talmud Torah. You had a chance. You went on, I don't know, YouTube. You went to a Netflix. You started to watch some kind of television or something. We don't know what corresponds to that. Well, let's say Talmud Torah keneget kulam. Let's say we're going to go to the obvious commentary. What happens after you watch? Can you learn Torah and do mitzvot? No. If you tell me you could, you are on the level of Hasidim Arishonim. You're pretty big. Because after you watch, you feel heavy. You're heavy. You're tired, you're heavy. No, you're heavy. You're heavy. You feel lazy afterwards. It's not just the blue light. It's not the blue light. I didn't get to WhatsApp. I would have said WhatsApp, but I went to the extreme measure. Now, wait a sec. The Shurish B'der Farshema Efrat Bat Oshrit. I want to tell you guys another thing. The Ari already gave us another example. He says whoever speaks in between Amayim Aharonim and Birkat HaMazon, his shoulder will start to hurt. Why? That mitzvah is in your shoulder. So techef lemitzvah netila. Ma ze techef? Katef. So therefore, that mitzvah. That's why back in the day, the Navi would tell you. You don't have to go to the doctor. That's why Chizkiyahu HaMelech, he took the book of Refuot Ganazoto. What's ganazoto? He put it under the ground. You don't need it, guys. We have Nevi'im. The Nevi'u tells you didn't Navera. You don't need anything else. It tells you. You didn't see Shema today. Shema is, I don't know. For example, your eye is, it's twitching. You said Shema, that's it. It's back. It's good. That's exactly why he did it. That's why the Chachamim hodulo. Exactly. Or else, what? Think about it. Sanely. You have a book of the greatest medical book in history. Of Shlomo HaMelech wrote it. Why would you bury it?
Because everybody was depending on it. You started to put your trust in that.
Exactly. So therefore, you got to put your trust in Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Now we also know in time of the Chorban Beit Hamikdash, the Chachamim said to the Yirmiyahu Hanavi, we could change, we could control the Shamayim. We could control what the people of the heaven do, the angels of the heaven. They want to bring fire, this, that. We'll control them. What happened? Hakadosh Baruch Hu bilbelet olamot. He made water, fire, earth, this, that. So that means Sefer Refuot. That's why exactly this is Nechasha Nechoshet, the silver, the copper snake. It's really interesting that World Health Organization and the American sign, the Israeli signs, what? The copper. That's the copper snake. It's the copper snake. And what did Chizkiyahu HaMelech do? What did he do to the copper snake? He took it, kitzetz oto. What's kitzetz oto?
Sliced it up.
He sliced it up. I mean, this is not loba b'cheshbon. That's not what we meant. That's not what we're meant to do. We have to daven to Shbroga. We have to radiate. That's what it means. Knish tahada. We need a knish tahada. One group of 10 people that are willing to go the extra mile. So that's what it means. That was the beginning of the Sharei kedusha, Rabbi Chaim Vitala. We have to prepare. We have to know that our bodies are just a result. It's a symptom of what our neshama looks like. Okay? Veda, continuing. Ki achar shechada Adam Harishon, after Adam Harishon made the avera and etzadat, v'achal me'etzadat tovera, chobru nafsho v'gufo, his nefesh and his guf were combined. Gam hem kol echad mitovera, each one in tovera. That means your guf has a tov and ra, and your nefesh has a tov and a ra. That means the tov and ra means he had a guf before. Don't think, no, he didn't have a body, and his body and his soul were separate. No, biduk afuch. His body and soul were one. But the ra, what we call the shiraim, the leftovers, were combined afterwards with his tov. Understand?
So
it's not a separate entity anymore, but he did have a body. The body itself is kadosh. You should remember one thing: your body is asiyah.
That's why we're not allowed to.
Asiyah was supposed to be kadosh. What's tchum Shabbat? We'll learn it one day. What's exactly tchum Shabbat? That's exactly what the Nachash put inside Chava. Chas v'shalom, to think that he was with her. You know, some midrashim say that, but you have to understand the midrashim. The Ariya Kadosh says, wherever it says that Nachash was with Chava, loke ba'aseh. The Ben Ish Chai says, loke ba'aseh. Chas v'shalom, to ever think that Nachash was with Chava. Rather, by making her do that avera, whatever it was, by eating from the Etz Hadat, it caused the chibur, the connection between the tov and the ra, not only in the nefesh, in the guf. In the body too, because your body is also kadosh. That's why it gets up in Tchiyat HaMetim. Understand? ועל ידי הרע והזוהמה שהטיל בהם גרמו להם חולאים ונגעים ומיתה לנפשם ולגופם. That ra, that, I don't think the right word is evil, but that ra, let's call it ra.
Negative.
Let's call it pollution. I like that word.
That's bad. Rasha is evil.
Yeah, let's call it pollution. I like that word. Bad pollution causes the person cholaim, sickness, nigaim, skin ailments, mita, death, lenafsham, also to the nefesh. There are nefeshes that cancel out.
Yeah, because
There are nefeshes that cancel out. Legufam. Vezeu shekatuv. That's the meaning of the sentence. Ki beyom ochelcha mimenu motamut. The day you will eat from it, you will die, and you will die. What double die? Mitat hanefesh or mitat haguf. Also the nefesh will go bye-bye, and also the guf will go.
what does that mean?
The nefesh is going to cancel out. That means, chas v'shalom, to say that a nefesh, your nefesh is chelek eloka mima'al. But let's say, for example, your nefesh loses its identity. It loses its identity. Now it's someone else. Like a person, chas v'shalom, who doesn't want to get married. There are Americans like that, right? This is the generation. We get married when we're 40, we have a dog when we're 50, and we try to have kids when we're 60. Let's say what an American that, I'm a fool. So he gets married at the age of 40. He can't find a wife. The Arya Kadoshas and Sharei, person doesn't want to get married. His nefesh is gone. His goof is for sure gone. But his nefesh, he loses his identity. He's not Moshe anymore. Let's say his name was Moshe. Now he'll be the new name. Yosef.
He doesn't have a chelik in Olam Haba, right?
אין לו שום חלק לעולם הבא. ועמך כולם צדיקים. צדיק, יסוד ומלכות. The יסוד has to be מתחבר with the malchut. If the tzaddik is not מתחבר with the malchut, then there's no point to the tzaddik. So the person who doesn't want to get married, אין לו חלק לעולם הבא. Person who doesn't want to have children, and that's why I told the people that I teach, I said, first thing I told them this year, first thing, guys, you gotta have kids. No, but she's she's in school, this and that. You'll be fine, don't worry. The same God that brought you to the world is the same God that will provide for you. If you have a problem with emunah, learn. You guys have to learn. So let's continue. Now we have to know what's this tov and ra, good and evil. Because remember, HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't have any evil in him. So what do we mean by evil?
Lack of good.
What is that lack of good? What is that? Shenitarev bahem, that combined and that they both combine together. V'ayin ma shenichtov lekam per gimel shar sheni u'shlishi. He says jump to chapter section 3. We don't want to jump. I did that once. You're gonna just read section 3 then. So let's stick to this section. V'tavin, you all said, mashanu kovim b'shar hazeh. You're gonna have a better understanding. What is he telling you? Until you don't finish the book, you're not gonna have a full understanding what we're saying. This is a very big idea. Until you don't finish a book, you're never gonna truly understand what the author wanted to tell you. You're stuck with your own understanding. That's very wrong. You have to know what the author wants to tell you. We're right now causing Rabbi Chaim Vital's lips to move in the kever. His lips right now are moving inside the kever. And I'm telling you, this book is I'm telling you, you guys will enjoy the sentence by sentence. There is no sentence in this book that will not make you excited. When he made the avera in etzad tovera, garam ta'arovet hazeh b'chol ha'olamot ve'en lecha davar she'eno k'rim tovera. There isn't an entity in the world that doesn't have tovera anymore.
After
The rock, the sand that you walk on right now is me'urav metovera. That means Hashem took the Jew from Eretz Yisrael to America to walk in the streets of New York, just so he could mivarer by walking to the Bet Knesset, the Tov Vera. There isn't the air that we breathe. We're mivarer mitov Vera.
So we're separating now?
Everything a Jewish person does, especially the people in this room, that you guys are conscious of this idea. You're mivarer tov Vera.
So
it's unbelievable. Every second.
never see it or feel it.
You could, if you want to. That means everything in life. You went to pharmacy school. How many years it took?
Compounding.
6. If you take 6 years to do this, to be consciously, constantly aware, you're gonna feel it too. Guarantee. You're gonna feel it. If not all the time, sometimes you're gonna feel it.
Every Jew?
The Tana Be'eliyahu says, I'm about to cry. Me'id ani alai shamayim va'aretz, ish, isha, yeled, yalda, and even a baby. If he wants, he could feel this divine revelation. You have to take time to do it. It has to be something constant.
So the scientific concept of an atom is like what misos?
An atom is just a step into understanding there is no such kind of thing as free space.
Shouldn't they all have tovara? That means that they have to have like some kind of soul.
Also, the atoms have tovera. Also, the atoms.
Is that like
Positive. Kain ve'hevel. Chasadim ve'gvurot. And its shoresh Even in Arich, we have Chokhmah Da'atik and we have Binah Da'atik. What does that mean? It's also a sense of only in the Ein Sof there is nothing. When you get to the end of the line, you understand that everything was the best. It not only was what, it was the best possible outcome.
I'm just wondering, is it possible that the atoms are the Nitzot?
No, the atoms are the Nitzot of Asiyah, you could say. You could say that they're the Nitzot of Asiyah. That you could say. But not in its Shorashim. Because even scientists, they break the atom to quantum, to this, and that, and they could break it into like 20 million pieces.
Yeah.
Until when? Until they get bored.
Until they extend something else.
And then what? Until they don't say it's Hashem, they could keep on splitting the atom.
Micro.
And then when they then when they split it too much, what happens? An atomic bomb.
Until they get to Adam or Rishon.
It's an atomic bomb. Let's continue. ונמצא כי גוף האדם הנוצר מארבע יסודות. Your body is made out of 4 elements. וכל אחד, each one of them is tovera. Fire is tovera, water tovera, ruach tovera, afar tovera. Each one of your elements has tovera. The guf adam vehem esh ruach mayim ve'afar. Amnam min hara shebahem notzru beguf arba marot. From your body, from the bad part of the fire, water, air and earth, comes 4 marot, 4 bad instincts. That's the ra. Now you're learning what's the ra. Livana, it's a white. Shchora, black. Aduma, red. Yeruka, green. V'kasher titgaber, when you're able to mitgaber, to overcome eizemen b'bchinat hara sheben. Let's say one day you're able to be mitgaber, one of the bad aspects of one of those bichinot, one of those aspects inside of you. Al bichinat atov shebein ba'im cholaim. You know when you get sick, the Reb Chaim Vital says, when one of those bad marot take over the good part of you. That's what causes the sickness.
I don't understand what this means.
Let's say I don't want to ruin the book.
The last part I got. I'm saying the beginning.
What?
White, black. I don't understand.
There's 4 main colors: white, black, red, and green. Those are the 4 main colors. Those 4 colors represent the 4 elements inside of you. Ish, ruach, mayim, ve'afar. Every time a person gets sick, it's because one of those, the good parts of your elements, was overcome by one of the. I want to give you an example. Did you ever realize when a person gets sick with a cold, it's because he was upset the previous day? You never realized that. As a parent, I realize it. When I see, they say, when you get upset, your immune system goes down. It's not your immune system. Your mara, that evil mara inside of you, that's because of Adam HaRishon's sin, it was mitchaber, it overcame your good element inside of you. You understand? That causes you suddenly, I got allergies, there's no cure for allergies. No cure. There's no cure for psychological ailments. There's no cure for it. Schizophrenia, there's no cure. There is to cure the symptoms. You could drug yourself with Benadryl and Zyrtec all day. It doesn't cure you. Understand? Doesn't cure you.
So the cold also doesn't.
Huh? The cold? No, there's no cure for. There's no cure for the cold. And every year you get a flu vaccine. Why? Because it changes. There's no cure. But if your marot kedushot, your good marot are always overcoming. That's why you ever hear the shiurim, be b'simcha. You ever hear that? That simcha comes from ish. The ish, the fire mara inside of you. When the ish overcomes all your 4 marot, it's able to clean everything. Yeah, that's what it means. So even a cancer patient, when he's always happy, he lives. I would say, but it gives him a longer life for sure. For sure, but I'm always careful from what I say. But for sure, person who's always happy, he experiences less diseases.
Absolutely.
As a parent, you're always upset at your children. Stop! Don't do this! Don't go over there! Don't go into that shelf, doesn't that? And suddenly you see right after that, suddenly you're sick and your eye is like this. What? The mara shchora is mitgaber on your good mara. Because the sin of Adam Arishon was mitgaber, it mitchaber, it combined your esh and esh, your ruach and ruach, your maim, your afar and afar. Originally, it was supposed to be a separate entity from you. It was supposed to be separate from you.
You have like a twin standing next to you all the time that you saw?
Originally, yes, it was supposed to not only be a twin, it was supposed to be a physical being. It was supposed to be your physical servant. You would say, go get me something from the 99-cent store. And it would go and get it for me.
Go work today and bring back that.
We gotta get it back. That's Mashiach. So are we close? I mean, it doesn't look like it. I mean, so we said, okay, so we said that. וכבר נתבהר כי בכל העולמות in every world of אצילות בריאה יצרה עשייה היה עירוב טוב ורע. There was a mixture of tov. That's what I was telling you in the shiur, that all the shorashim got mixed together. That's why sometimes you're really supposed to be from Shoresh Kain, and suddenly you're fighting with a Mara from Shoresh Hevel. You have no idea. You can't understand how to fight this Mara. That's what the sin of Adam Arishon cost you. You weren't supposed to fight with this Yetzirah, but that Yetzirah came inside of you because of the sin of Adam Arishon. It fell inside of your. Now Hashem is going to work with this on purpose. It's not like it was by coincidence. So we all would be Kol Yisrael Arevin Zelazeh. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be Arevin Zelazeh. All Kains would be B'Shorish Kain. All Hevels would have their own shul. All Shorish Chanochs would be their own shul. All Avrahams would be El Yitzchak. We would all be in our own thing. Hashem wants us all to be together. So it was for a good reason. But I'm just telling you the source of the thing. But by the Chet, we all became. That means you could not be from my Shorish Neshama only from one spark. And that's why you have to learn from me. It could be only one spark. And then when you're going to finish that spark, you might feel like I have to go somewhere else.
Isn't it all the Neshama was inside Adam?
That's it, exactly. That's why but they were separate. The hand was the hand, the head was the head. But when he made the sin of Adam Arishon, they all got affected and what was the effect? They got intercombined. You understand? They all got mixed together. That's why you could have a nefesh from Cain and a ruach from Rabbi Akiva.
Wow.
But there's not two. They're not connected. They're two different shorashim. And suddenly you feel like when you were in your nefesh, what was your biggest test in your life? To say Shema Bizmana. Then suddenly when you get your ruach, you might feel like, oh my God, I cannot keep Shabbat anymore. Like I feel like I don't want to keep Shabbat. There's people like that because your shorashim are mixed. There's only one human being, and I reiterate that. And there's no Zohar that says anything differently. There's one Ariach that says there's only one human being in the history of the world, Gabriel, wake up, that had one shoresh from all the same thing. That was Abaye.
They made it easier for him?
They made it easier for him. Interesting, halacha doesn't follow him. He was from Gvurot, that's why. That means the halacha followed him for him. But for the rest of the generation, it doesn't follow him. Except for Yael Kagam, Abaye. He was the only... Abaye, Nachmani. But Abaye. Abaye, my father, it means. His uncle raised him. He didn't want to call him by his father's name. His father's name was Nachman. He was called after his father's. So he decided to call him Abaye, my father. Rava raised him. Rava Imhei.
I thought it was Rabba.
Rabba. I say Rava. Okay. Nodal Balei Amada. Let's go. I'm sorry. Where are we? ונמצא גוף האדם נוצר ביסודות יסתכונים והנה הם כלים טוב ורע וגוף האדם נוצר מן הטוב שהבא יסודות האש רוח מים afar. Your body is made from the good of the fire, the air, the water, and the earth. אמנם מן הרע שבהם נוצרו בגוף 4 מרות. From the bad of those 4 things came into your body the 4 evils. That is the white, the black, the red, and the green in your body. No, we read this part already. We'll read it again. That's when you get sick. Next paragraph. Not only in our body was tovera, all the worlds were tovera. It's Adam HaRishon's Avera, Gabriel, reached till Olam HaAtzilut. All got combined mitov vera. ונמצא כי גם בנפש האדם היה כן. Also in our neshama there was the same thing. כי הלא חוץ בה מן 4 יסודות רוחניים שמהם נוצרו כל העליונים והם 4 אותיות שם הוויה ברוך הוא. Just as there's 4 elements, those 4 elements they coincide, they correspond, that's a better word, to the 4 letters of God's name. Yud Kei Vav Kei, that Yud Kei Vav Kei is Esh, Ruach, Mayim, Afar. That's the 4 parts of your neshama.
That makes more sense now.
That's the 4 parts of your neshama. That's the Yud Kei Vav Kei, Esh, Ruach, Mayim, Afar. And also in those Yud Kei Vav Kei, also was Midabek the Ra.
Also.
In the sin of Adam HaRishon. Because don't forget, it's not Hashem. It's His name.
His attributes.
His attributes. You understand? Now all this I'm telling you on the outside is for one reason and one reason only, Gabriel. To give you free will. To sleep in a shiur or not to sleep in a shiur. All these things gives you... It comes from these 4 marot. It comes from these 4 marot. It comes from these 4 elements.
Would you say that?
It means the 4 elements are good. Fire, air, water, and earth are good elements. But the marot, the evil in them...
Mirror, no?
No, not marot. Marot is like there's no real translation. Bli alef, bli ayin. It's mem resh vav tav. Those, let's say, your gallbladder or your on your liver, you have like a fat on it. That's yoteret hakaved. That's the marot. You understand? Those are the marot. Those things give you. We're gonna learn about it. Ego, desire to receive, laziness, too much, too much speaking. That comes from the 4 marot.
Question for you: if a person
And we're gonna learn exactly which midot comes from those 4 marot and what mitzvot we have to do to cancel them out.
Shalom, if
Yeah.
you annul yourself by working on yourself, do you get control of those marot?
That's exactly the point. The mitzvot are meant to be mitgaber on the marot. That means you have a right now you're gonna go home. I have a mitzvah to do. Should I go to sleep or say Kriyat Shema al Amita? Tell me this is not one of the. It's a test. It's a test sometimes. Understand? When you do Kriyat Shema al Amita, you're mitgaber on the mara of earth, which is laziness. You understand? You're canceling it out to your kedusha of afar. Afar is kedusha, but it's mixed because of Chet Adam HaRishon with the mara of laziness. When let's say you want to wake up early in the morning for shacharit, and you're like, oh my God, I woke up at 9 o'clock. Now I want to sleep for another hour. I have another hour for Kriyat Shema for Zman Tefillah. When you're gonna wake up, you're mitgaber and your mara of afar again. Understand? Or depression. Or it's every day. There is never. Why? Because the more you battle it, the bigger tests you get.
You build on it.
What you say?
Not that down, big guy, more bigger than
The bigger guy is coming.
And
Exactly.
then eventually you come.
See what happens when he wakes up? He says, "Chedushim." You see him on Shabbat. This guy is throwing Kedushim right and left. You should see him on Shabbat, huh?
You said that the 5th part, right? Ak doesn't have any battery.
We don't have an element.
I mean, we have 5 parts of the soul, no?
5 parts of the soul. We have 5, but we only have 4 elements.
What's the 5th part?
We don't have an element for it. That's Ak.
So that's like. That's
We're gonna know the element. Yeah, but you know, they say I have 4 senses, and sometimes 5. What is that 5th sense? What is that 5th sense? No, we have 4 senses. When I was growing up, it was 4 senses and sometimes 5. The liberals taught you 5 because they want to go against Hashem. That's what I was taught. How many seasons? How many imaot? 4. How many shemot? Ab, Sag, Ma, Ben. 4. Yehidah doesn't have.
Name of
Evanta or lo? Yeah, it's only 4. Ab, Sag, Ma, Ben. How many imaot? Sarai, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. Esh, Ruach, Mayim, Afar. You understand? Chokhmah, Binah, Tiferet, Malchut. Those are the 4 main sefirot. Other than that, it's not that. There's nothing. The 5th, that's Arich. We gotta learn how that connects to Chokhmah. כי בחוכמה תחיה בעליה. חוכמה תחיה. חוכמה is life. Understand? Okay, let's finish the paragraph. כי הלא חוצבה מן 4 יסודות רוחניים, those are אותיות של עליה, שם הברוך הזה נאמר, this the pasuk means, מארבע רוחות when Ezekiel had a prophecy of the resurrection, I think chapter 37 exactly, 37, because 38, 39 I think is Gog and Magog, or 36, okay, 36 or 37, he says from the 4 corners door come the ruach, which ruach, esh, ruach, mayim, afar, to give life to tchiyat hametim. He had tchiyat hametim prophecy. V'zeh nikra nefesh adam mitzad hatov. That's your nefesh from what part, Gabriel? Mitzad hatov. V'nei gam azeh l'uma zeh elokim. But also corresponding these 4 elements, there's also a bad part, because of the sin of Adam Arishon. וזה נקרא אדם בליעל, the evil man. That means it's אדם הראשון and אדם בליעל. There's 2 men, אדם הראשון, and אדם הראשון, there's אדם בליעל, that's the נחש. It's the נחש, he's אדם בליעל. כולל 4 אבות נזיקין. What are they? 4, first, בבא כמה? 4 אבות נזיקין. There's 4 אבות נזיקין. Right? Exactly. That's the 4 that's connected esh ruach. There's 4 avot nizikin, 4 things that you have to pay a person if you cause damage. Right? Shor, bor, mav'eh is the teeth. No, mav'eh is the teeth. Then there is the regular, right? Or haver, the fire. Person caused a fire. Those 4 avot nizikin are connected to 4 kochot kedusha.
Because over here is damaging.
Exactly. There's a damaging, and these are building. When you get married and have children, you give the tipa, and that tipa is esh ruach mayim. The woman is the afar.
Earth, right?
She's the receiver.
Never expect anything from your wife. Never, because she's a taker. She's an afar. Afar grows when you give it. You understand? That's why anger is very counterproductive with women. It doesn't get anywhere with them because they're the source of anger. You understand? It never gets anywhere with them. Think of the rabbi's not here. Then it would be.
Women are not even lazy though.
What? Laziness comes from afar. Va'arba marot thinking, how many negaim are there in Parshat Tazria Metzora? 4 negaim. Min arbaisu, they come from those 4 yisodot of esh ruach mayim. There's 4 kinds of tzaraat from the esh ruach mayim afar, and from there come your yetzer hara.
Where's the Yetzer Tov?
Your yetzer hara is also good. They come from your esh ruach mayim afar too. וכשתתגבר נפש זו על נפש הטובה, חס ושלום, if that bad nefesh overcomes of your good nefesh, יעברו עליו נזקים. What's נזקים? You get a car ticket. Somebody hits your car. Suddenly, I don't know, crack your window. Tour, what? Protest?
No.
Ah.
Rock on the highway.
The rock on the highway. Strach. נזקים. What's חולאי נפש? Psychological diseases. חס ושלום.
So this comes from what?
ואם תתגבר, those come from the bad, those from the fat, bad eshukmayim afar. ואם תתגבר, if you will be strong enough, יותר, look what he says, timitenu. You could kill it.
So you're saying, practically
That's
speaking,
crazy, right? It's
practically
crazy.
speaking, is whenever you have a desire that comes your way and you overcome it, you are mitgaber and the ra.
Yeah.
You let,
Huh?
whenever you let it overcome you, you have bad things come.
But then suddenly you see, you get sick, and you get a parking ticket, and you get fired, and I don't know what happens to you.
Why are they saying when you overcome?
Chutzpah? Yeah, chutzpah כמו chutzpah מכיסא הכבוד, to carve.
They say when you overcome some tests, especially when it comes to the women, in that moment you can pray and it will be answered, like you.
Not only from the woman, for anyone.
Anything, right? There is some kind of shepherd comes.
The ka'as is esh. It's esh. Ka'as comes from esh. Esh is the strong. It's the yud of Havaya. It's the ra of the yud of Havaya. when you're overcoming the yud, it's machshava. Machshava idbarir kula. In a machshava, everything happens. So it's ratzon in Shamayim. Understand?
Yes.
Ulala. Yeah. Next.
Ah,
Right, let's go.